What is going on, everybody? It's Craig back with BlklimitedX, and I am glad to be back because I just got back from a week of vacation from work. Well needed, well rested. Went camping, got the kids outdoors, got them outside, got the Jeep outside, more importantly, got it dirty, full of bugs, dirt, all that good stuff. But today's video is going to be about how I clean it, the inside and out. It won't be super crazy detailed, but I'm going to show you guys how I do get it clean after it gets really dirty. Vacuuming the interior, wiping everything down, all that good stuff. I'm gonna show you guys the things that I use, the materials, the tools, and I'm gonna show you guys how I get it clean. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, you guys, starting off, these are my two favorite washes I love to use: the Turtle Wax car wash as well as the Meguiar's ceramic coat wash, which I'm not going to use that today, but just know that stuff is amazing. I'll show you guys in a different video. As far as the interior goes, I love to use the Chemical Guys Total Interior Cleaner paired with the ArmorAll Leather Care. These two are sure to get your interior smelling good and looking nice. I love that stuff. As far as the wheels go, I love to use the ArmorAll Heavy Duty Tire and Wheel Cleaner as well as the Chemical Guys Tire Shine, and I use the Adams Polishes Hex Pad to apply it all. Now, I'm also going to be using a 3-gallon bucket, we need it for fresh water, as well as a cheap, inexpensive, but effective pressure washer. I love this thing, and my trusty old Shop Vac. I've had this thing for over 5 years. It has never steered me wrong. It gets the job done. And of course, we're going to need some microfiber towels as well as drying towels, so I have those on hand. Now, one of the very first things that I like to do is to remove all of the floor mats from the Jeep, driver and passenger side, front and rear, all at the same time. And I also like to leave as much of the dirt and debris on them as I can, because even though I'm going to be vacuuming, I want to keep that dirt level to a minimum. So I just shake off any excess on the outside once I get them out. Once I have them out, I like to lay them down and pour some soap on them. You can do a little, you can do a lot, whichever you actually prefer. I like to use the soap that I use to actually clean the Jeep because this stuff works very well. Then I like to take my pressure washer and come and spray them all down, get them all nice, soapy and sudsy, so then that way I can come and take my brush and give them all a nice scrub down, getting inside all those cracks and all those crevices, knocking off any dirt, debris, mud, whatever the case may be, whatever you have on your floor mat, spill, juice, if you got kids. This is going to be a really good way for you to get them nice and clean. Then after that, I like to take my pressure washer once again and give them a nice spray down, a final spray down, knocking off any soap, getting them all nice and clean before I set them off to the side. All right, and once that's taken care of, I like to start with the vacuum cleaner on the driver's side and the front, working on the seat itself, getting inside the cracks, and then getting down on both sides of the seat, then working my way further down, getting to the innermost part of the footwell, working my way back on the main floor, and then getting up under the seat itself, picking up any crumbs or anything like that, anything that didn't get caught by the floor mat. The passenger side is the exact same thing. The same thing applies. Even though nobody sits in my passenger seat that often, so it wasn't as dirty as the driver, I still like to get down and get it just as clean, getting up under the seat, getting on sides of it as well, making sure everything is nice and clean. Now, I have kids, and anybody with kids will tell you they love to make a mess of their car seats for whatever reason. They just do. So once I make my way in the back, that's one of the very first things I like to start with. I work my way inside all the folds and flaps, get behind all the straps, look inside the cup holders, making sure there's no food left over, a cookie here or a chicken nugget there. Whatever the case may be, I just like to make sure it's clean for the next time they get in the car. Then I like to work my way down to the floor, working up under the actual back seat itself, getting it all clean, working on the main floor, and then getting up under the front seat actually, because now whatever you couldn't reach in the front, you can reach in the back because you were able to scoot your seat forward. Then I work my way to the other side, and the same thing applies, starting with the car seat, make sure that's all nice and clean, then getting down on the floor, picking up any dirt, and making sure everything's good to go. Next, we're going to be cleaning out this trunk, which as you can see is absolutely filthy, but with a little bit of faith and some elbow grease, we'll be able to get it done still. Obviously out there on the market, there are much better and newer vacuums with attachments and accessories, and I had an attachment, a brush attachment, which would have helped me tremendously clean this carpet better, but I lost it a long time ago, so I've just been having to work with the tube itself, which as you can see is still working fairly well. This probably took me about maybe 10 minutes to do because it was a lot of dirt and grass, things of that nature stuck inside the carpet, so I was having to go over sections and spots multiple times to ensure I got it all out. But nonetheless, we still got it done. And as you can see, with a little time and patience, even with as dirty of a trunk that was, you can still get it back clean like new, and it'll look good. Once everything has been vacuumed, I love to use the Chemical Guys Total Interior Cleaner. This stuff is awesome. I pretty much use this exclusively since even having the Jeep. It goes on pretty much any surface in your interior. As you can see me start off with my steering wheel and then work my way up to the top of the dashboard, wiping off any debris or dust that may have collected up there. Not only does this stuff work, but it smells good, and I am a sucker for good smells, especially when it comes to cars. So if it has a good smell, it gets bonus points in my book. I also like to keep a tiny microfiber towel, especially to clean off the U-connect, because if you got fingerprints all over it, you just want to give it a quick wipe down. This thing comes in handy. Next, I like to hit my seats. Usually I would have used the leather care from ArmorAll, but today I'm just giving it a quick wipe down. So I'm just going to use the interior cleaner to get it all nice and clean and shiny, starting off with the bottom, and then I like to work my way up to the top, working on the sides, getting on the back part. I usually get a little sweaty, so I like to get at a good wipe down. Then I like to come over and spray off and give a nice wipe down to the armrest, and this is a cover on there, which has been great. It doesn't get that dirty too, so it's pretty easy to clean, which is great. And then I like to come down and spray and wipe down the entire center console, starting off with the shift knob, getting inside the leather pouch with the shift knob is in, working all the way around that carbon fiber overlay, and then getting around the dial knobs for the drive modes, making sure everything's nice and wiped down, getting it all clean. I like to give the doors a nice spray and wipe down as well. These are fairly easy to clean. You can even use this stuff on the windows if you want. I just like to give them a nice wipe down, making sure all the tabs are clean, getting inside the door handle, working my way down into the pockets, making sure there's no trash or dirt or anything like that. Once the interior is all clean, next I like to take the foam cannon that my pressure washer actually came with and fill it up with some turtle wax wash. Some people like to add water to the bottle, some don't. It really just depends on what you want to do. Next, I actually take my pressure washer and wash off or knock off any debris or dirt that may be on the Jeep before I actually apply any soap. I usually like to work in sections, so I start in the front and then I work my way back. Guys, and after that pre-wash, I like to swap out to the foam cannon, which you're gonna see in a second. It's not really a lot of foam, but it is real soapy, and that's exactly what we're after. So don't be afraid to apply that soap on there. You should have a lot on hand, so make sure you get it real soapy before you actually start to scrub it and clean it. Once that soap is applied, I like to use a microfiber towel on an extension pole like you see. This thing is pretty sweet. I don't have to clean the Jeep totally by hand anymore, but I'm still able to get in every spot that I need to be able to clean. I'm still able to put a lot of pressure in order to actually scrub and rub off any remaining dirt. So this thing is pretty awesome. It comes in handy, and I prefer to use this method when I'm cleaning my Jeep, especially when I try to reach my roof or something like that, any place that I can't really see. All right, now maybe it's just me, but even after scrubbing it, I like to hit it with the soap one more time, getting it extra clean. It's probably doing nothing, but it also ain't hurting nothing either, and it just makes me feel good. So I like to give it a second coat of soap. Then afterwards, I take the pressure washer, give it its final rinse, knocking off all water and leftover dirt, leaving it with a really nice shine, looking really good. After that front part is done, I usually move over to the driver's side or passenger side. Don't really matter, whichever you choose. Hitting it with the pressure washer with that pre-wash, knocking off any dirt or debris. That's when you want to come in with your soap next. Don't be afraid. Like I said, put a lot of soap on there. You want to get it clean. Then you want to take your microfiber extension or your cloth, whichever one you have, and really get it clean. Hit every area top to bottom. Make sure you leave no stone unturned, getting this thing clean because you want it to look good. Now, if you want to hit it with a second coat of soap like I usually do, go ahead and do that. Make sure you coat everything front to back, top to bottom. That's when you take the pressure washer, hit it with that final rinse, getting rid of any water or dirt that may be left over on the Jeep. Alright you guys, so as you all can tell from the video, it's starting to get a little dark. So I went ahead and washed the driver's side and the rear's wheel off camera. And now I'm just drying the Jeep off. And with that said, you guys, keep in mind, even with as big as these drying tiles can be, they can get soaked pretty quickly. Especially when you're talking about a vehicle of this size. Now I've got like 6 or 7 tiles myself, so I was fine. But if you only have like 1 or 2 tiles, you know, after you've dried the front and maybe one side, once you get to the other side and then the rear, you're just smearing water around at that point. So keep that in mind when it comes to drying your vehicles. Now, in regards to actually cleaning my wheels and tires, I love the ArmorAll heavy duty wheel and tire cleaner. This stuff is pretty sweet. I've been using it for like a month now and it works. It's like a super foam that sprays on blue. Now when you apply this stuff, just like the soap, you guys, do not be afraid. You want to be generous when you're applying it. Make sure you cover the entire surface area of the tire, and just like the name says, it's a wheel cleaner, so don't be afraid to spray your wheels down. It's not going to hurt anything. Just make sure you cover everything up. Now after about 35-40 seconds, it's going to start to turn white. And when it does that, it's basically saying, hey, I'm pulling the dirt off the wheels, I'm pulling the dirt off the tires. Now you can start scrubbing me, which is exactly what you're going to do next. Now, you do not want to use a hard bristle brush on your wheels ever. You want to use a soft bristle brush because a hard one will scratch them. So once it starts to turn white, you want to take your brush and start scrubbing the wheel really good. Getting inside, make sure you put a little pressure on it, make sure you're really getting that dirt off of there. I even like to hit the treads a little bit, depending on how dirty they are, and especially after this trip I took, they got really dirty, so I got up in there and cleaned them really well. Next, you want to do your wheels. Now, you can use a small detail brush if you want to get real technical with it, but this brush was pretty good. It worked pretty well. Now, after you get done scrubbing it, you're going to want to take your pressure washer and knock off all that dirt and cleaner. You don't want to leave any of it sitting on your wheel in order to get a good look. Alright, now the same idea is going to be applied for the driver's side as well as your rear tires, which I'm not going to show, which is basically you foam them down, you scrub them down, and then you spray them down, and that way you're going to get that nice clean look. Now for tire shine, I use the Chemical Guys tire shine, which I'm going to be applying with the Adams Polish Hex applicator, which is the best applicator on the market in my opinion. They also make a great tire shine as well. Another one I used to use, which was really good, was the Black Magic wet tire shine. That stuff is really good as well if you guys want to get some of that. Now, as you can see, I just sprayed the tire shine on the applicator and I sprayed it around the tire wall evenly, sometimes hitting the treads a little bit, but I just spread it around pretty evenly, and the same is going to be applied for the other tires as well, which I'm not going to show. Now, if you get any on your tire, on your wheel, don't worry about it. Just take a microfiber towel and wipe them off. Now, once those are done, I start to put all the floor mats back in, which should be dry by now, and then here's the finished product. All right, you guys, so there it is. The sun is in my eyes. I'm blinded right now, but nonetheless, the Jeep is all clean and washed up, looking brand new, looking good as ever. These are the products that I use. This is the way I wash mine. I do want to do another video where I go more in depth on the interior and outside, especially where I ceramic coat it and things of that nature, and show you guys the products I use for that. And if you see any scratches or anything like that, don't worry. I'm going to be getting my paint corrected because, hey, it happens. You get chips, scratches on the paint, stuff like that. But I will be getting it corrected. But nonetheless, this is how I clean the Jeep, getting it all nice. This is how it looks good in all my pictures I take. So if you guys want to know the type of products I use, the way I do mine, this was a video for you. With that being said, I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.